Hello, friends. Today's topic: a legend of Northland. Do you know about Northland? Northland is actually a place, northern part of this North Pole, and the story, we can say the poem, is from there. Why I told you stories? Because it is a ballad. A ballad is in the poetical form, but it is a story. It is a story about legends. It's a story about like folk culture. Like we have stories, we call them dastan, and these ballads, they are being sung, and the stories are presented in singing form. So it's a story about an older lady who angered Saint Peter. So you should know about this everything, that Saint Peter, he was a follower of Jesus Christ, and now he was propagating Christianity, and he was going from here and there. But because of greed, this old lady, she angered this Saint Peter. And what were the consequences of that angriness of Saint Peter, and how it gives us a lesson? Let's see. The saint was preaching and reached a cottage door. As he was preaching and propagating Christianity, he was preaching people truth and non-violence and other things. What else is there in the religion? That there is only one God, and you have to just bow before him and nobody else. So this was the preaching going on when Saint Peter just came across a cottage door, and being hungry, because usually in older times, people who used to preach, they don't need to work for anything, because people used to feed them. So he was hungry, and he asked for a piece of cake, because this lady was baking cakes. This lady was baking on the hearth. Hearth, you know, जिसे हम भट्टी कहते हैं, that's hearth. So hearth, this lady was baking the cakes, and this Saint Peter asked him a piece of cake. The lady started to bake a cake, but it appeared big to her, and she baked another small one, but this appeared big too. Look, here you will see the greediness of the lady, that he now, as it was Saint Peter who asked her for the cake, so what she did, she began to just make dough, and she took a piece of dough, and as she made a cake, it appeared to her that it was big, so she made another one. It appeared to be big again, so she tried many a times, but all appeared big to her. At last she took a scrap of dough and rolled it flat as thin as a wafer, but was unable to part with that. Also, she was not able to give it to Saint Peter as well. Because look, this lady was greedy, and greedy people, what they always want to take things, they never give. Because giving, what she used to eat herself, she used to feel it was less, but when it was time to give away, she thought of these cakes to be big. So this angered Saint Peter, and he said that the lady was not fit to live in human form, and cursed her. Look, it was the time when the saint, it's not that here symbolization of saint means the people who are poor, who are very innocent, who are just God has not bestowed them with wealth, but they are there on our doors, and they are asking for something. Then we should not leave behind, because their condition of heart may get worsened, and for that maybe Almighty will punish us. So over here, this Saint Peter got angered, and he cursed the lady. This lady got transformed into a woodpecker. So now the transformation took place, as Saint Peter said that she is not worth that she should take all the benefits of warmth, food, and this pleasure of life. Now she should turn to something who always keep on searching for food. So she turned to a woodpecker. Now this bird has to bore hard dry wood to get its scanty food. You might have seen this very thing, that this woodpecker always keep on striking the wood and searching for its food. So it is very hard for the woodpecker to find food. So it happens because of that greediness and miserness. Her whole body turned black because of going up through the chimney. As she flew, when she became this woodpecker, she flew through the chimney, and the body became black. That is why, because of the this charcoal. The charcoal was there, and that's why this lady turned to a black woodpecker. So her red cap turned to red plumage of woodpecker. As this lady wore a red cap, it changed to the plumage. Plumage is either a bunch of feathers, or we can say the upper part on the head. We see a bunch of feathers on the woodpecker's head. That is that cap which was there on the head of the lady. So now she is found living by boring the dry wood in search of food and face the curse. Now she is just facing that very curse since the starting of this religion of Christianity, when Saint Peter was just propagating Christianity. At that very time, she turned to woodpecker, and she is still finding her food. Now, critical appreciation. As I told you that this poem is a ballad narrating us a story in 16 stanzas of 4 lines each. Every stanza is of 4 lines, and this is a long narrative, and it is in the form of a story, so it is a ballad. Ballads are the part of folklore culture or popular culture and are passed orally from one generation to the next generation. We usually pass these ballads from one generation to another generation, but they are usually oral earlier. But now in the recent times, people are now recording them, they are writing them down, but in earlier times they used to get orally transmitted from one generation to another. This story is of the Northland area, of the northern part of North Pole. As I told you, human beings should have positive traits like affection, love, fellow feeling, sympathy, generosity, and sense of sharing. These things are being portrayed into this very poem to make us learn that there is a strong need of positive traits in human being of the modern society. And right now, people are lacking affection towards each other. They are lacking love. We don't love each other. Fellow feeling, that means this is my neighbor, this is my colleague. So this is the feeling that he is also a human being. This is a feeling we should have. Sympathy towards those who are downtrodden, who are not well-to-do. Generosity, we should be generous towards. We should be very humble towards others, and a sense of sharing. We should have that sense of sharing. If I have 50 rupees and the person sitting in front of me don't have any, and he is begging for food, he is starving, so we should just help him with at least 10 rupees so that he will survive as well, and we will get the benefit from Almighty for that. So poet bring forth the fate of people with negative, inhuman values like selfishness, greed, and cruelty, which is ultimately punished. So now this poet want to give us over here the glimpse that how negative traits of a human, how negative qualities of a human just get him punished for his deeds, like the selfishness, or like the selfishness of this lady. She landed to be a woodpecker, and later on she is still searching for food since ages. So now greed and cruelty, another two things are equally important, which we need to discuss. That greed, it is sometimes greed of people which just kill thousands and thousands of human beings, or we can not kill only, if we don't say kill, just hurt emotions of thousands of people because of this very greed and cruelty, because it's going on right now. The modern society, the rich are becoming richer, and it's the cruelty of the society, it's the cruelness of social, we can say, scenario, which is ultimately punished by God and ultimately punished by human values as well. So you should keep this thing in mind. Now the poetic devices which are being discussed in the poem are alliteration first, that, they, them, stanza first, and stanza first, that, they, them are used. So and the sound is being repeated. It's alliteration over here. Repetition, away stanza one, you will see word away, and it is being repeated over there, so it's repetition. Rolled is repeated in stanza 9, you will see it there, you will see other words as well which are being repeated, so there is repetition. Similarly, the children look like bear cubs in stanza 2, you will see that this comparison between two uneven things, so it is direct comparison, so that's why it is simile. The rhyming scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B. So that's all in this very poem, and this poem just gives us a moral lesson that we should work for human values. We should just add up our values towards affection, towards fellow feeling, towards love, towards generosity, and simply a love for sharing. We should share our things with others who are in need. That is all in this very video. Hope you liked it. Thank you very much.